Second, we're proposing to update the authorities that law enforcement uses to go after cybercriminals. We want to be able to better prosecute those who are involved in cyber attacks. Those who are involved in the sale of cyber weapons like botnets and spyware. We want to ensure that we're able to prosecute insiders who steal corporate secrets or individuals' private information. And we want to expand the authority of courts to shut down botnets and other malware. The bottom line, we want cybercriminals to feel the full force of American justice. Because they are doing as much damage, if not more, these days as folks who are involved in more conventional crime. Finally, and since this is a challenge that we can only meet together, I'm announcing that next month we'll convene a White House summit on cybersecurity and consumer protection. It's a White House summit where we're not going to do it at the White House. We're going to go to Stanford University. And it's going to bring everybody together: industry, tech companies, law enforcement. Consumer and privacy advocates, law professors who are specialists in the field. As well as students, to make sure that we work through these issues in a public, transparent fashion. Because they're hard and they're complicated issues. But if we keep on working on them together, and focus on concrete and pragmatic steps that we can take to boost our cybersecurity and our privacy, I'm confident that both our privacy will be more secure and our information. Our networks, public health, public safety will be more secure. We're going to keep on at this as a government, but we're also going to be working with the private sector to detect prevent, defend, deter against attacks, and to recover quickly from any disruptions or damage. And as long as I'm president, protecting America's digital infrastructure is going to remain a top national security priority. In closing, I want to say one of the areas I'll be working with Congress is to ensure that we don't let any disagreements keep us from fulfilling our most basic responsibilities. Last week's attack in Paris was a painful reminder that we have no greater duty than the security of the American people. And our national security should never be subject to partisan political games. Congress needs to fully fund our Department of Homeland Security, without delay. So that the dedicated public servants working here can operate with the certainty and confidence they need to keep the American people safe. And that's true across the board in the Department of Homeland Security. So, again, I want to thank JA and Deputy Secretary Mayorkas. And everybody here at NCHIC and DHS for the great job you are doing. You are helping to keep the nation safe and secure. And with that, we're going to get out of here so you can get back to work. Who knows what's been happening while you've been paying attention to me? All right? Thank you very much, everybody. Barack Obama. Post-briefing address at the National Counterterrorism Center. Delivered December 17, 2015, McLean, Virginia. As President and Commander-in-Chief, my highest priority is the security of the American people. And on a regular basis, I convene members of my national security team for an in-depth review of our efforts to prevent terrorist attacks against our citizens around the world and here at home. We examine any known and emerging threats. We review our security posture and we make sure that we're taking every necessary measure to protect our people. Today, I wanted to hold our meeting here rather than in the Situation Room at the White House. I wanted to hold it at the National Counterterrorism Center. Because this is the hub of where so many of our experts and efforts come together. And I want to thank our Director of National Intelligence Clapper, Jim Clapper. As well as NCTC Director Nick Rasmussen, and everybody at NCTC, all of you, for welcoming us here today. Now, Nick, along with CIA Director Brennan and FBI Director Comey, provided a threat briefing. And Director Comey and Attorney General Lynch updated us on the investigation into the San Bernardino attacks. I reiterated that the investigation will continue to have the full support of the federal government and that we should leave no stone unturned in determining why and how these terrorists carried out that tragedy. Secretary of Homeland Security Johnson updated us on the measures we're taking here at home to increase awareness. Stay vigilant, and enhance the safety of the traveling public. Especially with so many Americans traveling during the holidays. After the terrorist attacks in Paris and San Bernardino, I know that a lot of Americans were anxious. And that's understandable. It's natural. What matters most to all of us? Are our friends and our families and our communities and their safety. That's true of folks inside of government as well as outside of government. But here's what I want every American to know. Since 9/11, we've taken extraordinary steps to strengthen our homeland security, our borders. Our ports, our airports, our aviation security, including enhanced watch lists and screening. And we've gotten much better thanks in part to the people in this room of preventing large complex attacks like 9/11. Moreover, and I think everybody here will agree, we have the very best intelligence. Counterterrorism, homeland security, and law enforcement professionals in the world. Our folks are the best. Across our government, these dedicated professionals. Including here at NCTC, are relentless, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. At the operations center here, people from across our government work, literally shoulder to shoulder. Poring over the latest information, analyzing it, integrating it, connecting the dots. They're sharing information, pushing it out across the federal government and just as importantly, to our state and local partners. In other words, what you see here today is one strong, united team. So our professionals have a remarkable record of success. Of course, when terrorists pull off a despicable act like what happened in San Bernardino, it tears at our hearts. But it also stiffens our resolve to learn whatever lessons we can and to make any improvements that are needed. In the meantime, what the world doesn't always see are the successes those terrorist plots. That have been prevented. And that's how it should be. This work oftentimes demands secrecy. But as Americans, we should not forget how good these patriots are. Over the years, they have taken countless terrorists off the battlefield. They have disrupted plots. They've thwarted attacks. They have saved American lives. And so, for everybody who is involved in our counter-terrorism efforts, I want to say thank you, and the American people thank you. I want to repeat what my team just told me. At this moment, our intelligence and counter-terrorism professionals do not have any specific end. Credible information about an attack on the homeland. That said, we have to be vigilant. As I indicated in my address to the nation last week, we are in a new phase of terrorism. Including lone actors and small groups of terrorists, like those in San Bernardino. Because they are smaller. Often self-initiating, self-motivating, they're harder to detect, and that makes it harder to prevent. But just as the threat evolves, so do we. We're constantly adapting, constantly improving, upping our game, getting better. And today, the mission to protect our homeland goes on, on three main fronts. First, we're going after terrorists over there, where they plot and plan and spew their propaganda. As I described at the Pentagon, we're hitting ISIL harder than ever in Syria and Iraq. We are taking out their leaders. Our partners on the ground are fighting to push ISIL back, and ISIL has been losing territory. Our special operations forces are hard at work. We took out the ISIL leader in Libya. We've taken out terrorists in Yemen and Somalia. So we're sending a message: if you target Americans, you will have no safe haven. We will find you, and we will defend our nation. Meanwhile, as always, we're working to protect Americans overseas, including our military bases and service members. And Secretary John Kerry updated us on security at our embassies and our diplomatic posts. Second, we continue to do everything in our power to prevent terrorists from getting into the United States. We're doing more with countries around the world, including our European partners. To prevent the flow of foreign terrorist fighters both to places like Syria and Iraq, and back into our countries. We're implementing additional layers of security for visitors who come here under the visa waiver program, and we're working with Congress to make further improvements. Any refugee coming to the United States, some of them victims of terrorism, themselves will continue to get the most intensive scrutiny of any arrival. They go through up to 2 years of vetting, including biometric screening. And the review that I ordered into the fiancé visa program. Under which the female terrorist in San Bernardino came here, is ongoing.